Mastering indirect questions in present tense. Hello language learners. Welcome back to our series on mastering the art of question formation in English. Today, we're going to delve into a very special part of conversational English, indirect questions in the present tense. This is a topic that can really elevate your English language skills to the next level. So, let's jump in and start learning. Before we dive into the present tense, let's take a moment to recap what indirect questions are. An indirect question is not a question asked directly. It is used in conversation or in a more formal language setting, usually to be more polite or to express doubt or confusion. Here's a simple example. Direct question: what time is it? Indirect question: could you tell me what time it is? The structure of an indirect question often includes an introductory phrase, followed by the question itself. Now that we have refreshed our memory about indirect questions, let's talk about present tense indirect questions. The main verb in the indirect question part should be in present tense. Let's look at an example. Direct question: what is your name? Indirect question: can you tell me what your name is? To form an indirect question, we often begin with phrases such as, could you tell me? Do you know? Or, I wonder, followed by the question in a statement word order. Note, in this structure, we don't use the auxiliary do in the question part. Example: direct: where does he live? Indirect: do you know where he lives? You can see in the indirect question, we remove the auxiliary does, and the main verb, live, changes to lives, to match with the subject, he. A common mistake learners often make is keeping the auxiliary verb in the indirect question part. Remember, we do not keep the auxiliary do in the indirect question. Incorrect: could you tell me where does he live? Correct: could you tell me where he lives? This mistake is easy to make because in direct questions, we often use the auxiliary verb. But when we switch to indirect questions, we need to change our structure. And there you have it. Today, we've taken a closer look at how to form and use indirect questions in present tense. This skill is not only useful in everyday conversation but can also make your English sound more fluent and natural. Remember, practice makes perfect, so try using these in your day-to-day conversations. Thank you for joining me in this lesson. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in our next video. Happy learning!